My name is Jess Hyde and this is my presentation on resources and purpose of performance analysis. So the first slide is we've got the definition of two levels focused on. So I've picked participation and elite. So participation is the level of a local level team. So for instance, Brefton Hockey Club. So Brefton Hockey Club are just a simple local team that play in non-county level leagues and normally have a first or a second team. So Brefton has a first and a second team. This photo here is the second team. For a level like Brefton participation level, they are normally trained about once a week. And they play normally on a weekend. So at this level, they don't get paid to come to the training or come to play games. They purely come for fun. So this means that they normally pay to play. So they might pay a sub at the start of the league, so they may pay different prices for different teams. And this just means that they are normally insured or it's for the club. So if they normally, for a level like this, there's no normal age gap, so they're not made to be a certain age to play for the team. They're also not looked at their fitness level. So they could be really, really unfit, but still be able to play for this team. They won't get dropped if they're not fit enough. The age range can normally start from about 14. 13 is a normal age for ladies hockey. So it can age from about 14 all the way up to about 60 if you've got somebody that wanted to stay playing for a long time. So the opposite one is elite. So obviously elite, I've picked England ladies hockey team. The England hockey team is one of the highest standards that you can play for in hockey. It's international level, and you can't go any higher than the England team. So for this one, England, they get paid to play for, so they get paid for training, turning up for training, and they get paid for playing matches as well. Most of the team is sponsored by people, so there's Grays or Nike or different hockey associations as well. So they can get paid by them in order to post their brand while they play a match on TV or something like that. So it's totally different from participation to elite, as in they get a lot more funding. They actually get paid, so they get paid for transport as well. So they don't have to pay, for cars and fuel to get into matches. That's already paid for them. With elite, they get tested on their fitness. They get made to see how fit they are, whether they've, if they've got fast twitch or slow twitch muscles. They get tested on their eating, so making sure that they're eating the right things, whether they've got, they go training enough. And if they don't fit these standards, they're most likely to get dropped from the team, as obviously the England, they just want to win medals. So the next PowerPoint is the purpose of performance analysing at participation level. So for one of the factors is talent identification. So at this level, you've learned some more than the basic skills. So you've noticed that you're quite good at it, you enjoy it. So normally this can be at school, and then you would then potentially go on to looking at playing for a local team, i.e. Brefton. So in schools, and they also look at local clubs as well, there's a company called JDC. So this is the England Association for Hockey. They form this JDC in order to scout young athletes into becoming high level. So then they go on to play for county level. So JDC, they have camps, they go into schools, and they try and find out all the best players, which then they go and progress onto becoming better athletes. So this, again, you get scouted, you come along, and then you are more likely to get sponsored, so you can have funding. But very much at this level, you just turn up to have fun, but then you get the scouting and potentially go on to county level after. So at this level, you have help with personally. So this is where you have your coach will help you individually. So this can be them helping you individually on skills, nutrition, just things, basic things which a normal coach would help you with. So this can be then helping you progress on to getting into county level. So this would just be basic things like maybe learning how to do a flick, which then might help you for when you go into county level as scouted. You can show that you can do all different type of skills. So the next PowerPoint is the purpose of elite analyse at elite level. So you've got England hockey selection. So at England hockey, there are lots of different sections in which they have to go through. So you don't obviously go straight into the first team at England level. There's about 5 different teams. So you'll start off, once you've got picked out for England, you'll start off at the very bottom team and work your way up if you're good enough to be able to play. So from the bottom team, you still potentially go through exactly the same as what the first team would go through. So fitness testing, certain skill levels. So it's really important that you stand out and move all the way up. So the next one is team dynamics. So team dynamics are really important at this level because you spend so much time together, and at such a high level you need to be able to make sure that each person has a specific role and understands what they've got to do in order to perform well. So if the team doesn't get on, they're not going to be able to, their performance won't go up. So having this good team dynamics allows them to be able to progress better as a team. So the last one is resource of performance, analysing at different levels. So at performance level, you would analyse them like through apps such as Coach's Eye, which is where you use the app, which you can find on, you can have it on a mobile or a tablet, and you can just literally video your athlete and then go away using the tablet and just quickly analyse it. So for this, it just really doesn't cost a lot. It costs $2.99, showing that realistically it's a nice, real cheap app, which for someone at this level, they don't have much funding, so they don't want to be spending loads of money. Rather, £2.99, nice simple app which they can use for every single athlete, and they can go away, analyse it together and show what they're doing. This simply just needs a mobile phone or a tablet, and it's just a simple from an app store. So on an iPhone, obviously you've got the app store, and it works on an Android as well. This literally can take about 10 minutes, nothing too long. Obviously, if you sit down and want to analyse it more, obviously it might take a little bit more time, but generally, just to get a quick idea, slow the motion down, it takes about 10 minutes. And it can be used anywhere. It doesn't have to be used indoors or outdoors. It can be absolutely used anywhere. So for Elite, you've got Dartfish. So Dartfish is a massive software which costs $1,500. This is generally because it lasts for such a long, and it's very, very technical as well. So obviously the equipment, software, obviously you buy the license and then can go on to lots of different computers, so it doesn't have to just be used on one. You can also use tablets, things like that as well. Obviously things like that, you can then use it, go away, use it, outside as well. This can obviously is a little bit more technical, and it's got more scientific performance levels in it, so it can take from 30 to 45 minutes. Obviously if you just wanted to slow it down, obviously it can take about 15 minutes, things like that. But if you wanted to get a proper, more decent analysis of it, it obviously will take a little bit longer. Again, this can be done anywhere on any computer, as long as it's got obviously decent memory on it. But otherwise, depending on each, if you've got the funding for Elite, obviously this is a lot more beneficial for the athlete to see exactly what they're doing.